It is time for our 14th stitch, the Wheatear stitch. Here we go. I quite like this. I like how it makes a nice sort of repeating pattern just in the stitch itself. And here it is on my other sampler, using what looks like exactly the same colors. On the template, I have drawn 2 full lines of the stitch. You can make your stitching or your stitches larger than this. It's mainly just to show you which direction the stitching should go in, or could go in. You can do whatever you want, of course. But it is sort of a directional stitch, so maybe you want to have the top of it at the top of the letter. And the same with the diagonal line here. But you can do whatever you want. So let's try the stitch. And this is actually a 2 for 1 because this stitch starts with a detached Wheatear stitch. So I've drawn the basic outline of the stitch, and in theory you don't have to draw the sort of circular shape here, because the stitch will make that shape on its own. So we come up here, top left of this triangle, then we insert the needle to make a diagonal stitch, and then we come up at the other point and come back down into the same place where we finished the previous diagonal stitch. And then we come up a little distance away below this triangle stitch here. And then we slide the needle under both of the stitches without picking up the fabric. You don't want to pull this too tight. You don't want it to be a thick line of stitching. You want it slightly open here. Just like when you're doing a lazy daisy or detached chain stitch. Insert the needle back down in this hole. And again, don't pull it too tight. So this is the detached Wheatear. Let's do another one of those. So you come up, top left of the triangle shape, insert the needle in what will become the center, and then you come up top left of the triangle shape and insert the needle back down in the same hole, and then you come back up a little distance below the center of the triangle, slide the needle under the 2 legs of the triangle, insert the needle into the fabric again, and don't pull it too tight. So that's the basic detached Wheatear. So now to carry on to make the Wheatear stitch, we come up, let me just draw that again. So that we know where we're going. Even if it's a bit wonky. So I've come up at the point of a triangle, and I'm going to insert the needle back down where I finished the detached Wheatear stitch, and I'm come back up the other point of the triangle, insert that back down the same hole, and then I come back up a little distance below, and now I slide the needle under all 3 elements here, so the 2 diagonal stitches and the circular one in the middle. And insert the needle back down in the same hole. Again, come up at one point of the triangle, insert the needle back down in that hole, come up at the other point of the triangle, insert the needle back down in the same hole, come up a short distance below the previous stitch, and again slide the needle under everything that I have just stitched, and insert the needle back down, and then I'm ready to carry on, but my thread is too short. So let's try it on our sampler. So I'm just going to draw it with my pen that appears to be dying. But it's enough to get me started. So I start here at the top left corner with the first diagonal stitch, insert the needle back down, and then the second leg of this triangle, I'm keeping that at the top edge of the end, insert the needle back down, and then I come up a short distance away below the 2 stitches, slide the needle under and insert into the same hole. And then I come up to do the next triangle shape, and on this I'm starting on the outside line of the end, so that I will get hopefully a nice straight line with all the stitches as I work my way down. Insert the needle back down and come up to do the second half of the triangle shape, and insert the needle back down, and then I come up a short distance away. Nope, drop my needle, and slide the needle under the 2 triangle stitches and the circular one. Insert my needle back down, and again come up the outside to make the first half of the triangle. The point where I come up to do the triangle, is approximately halfway along this shape here, so that they're overlapped by sort of half a stitch length. Come up to do the other one, and then I come up below, slide my needle under, and then I'm ready to carry on. So I'm probably going to stitch my N in the same way that I have done here. So I started by doing this vertical line here, and then I did a diagonal line of stitching and another vertical line of stitching, all three in yellow. Obviously you can use whatever color you want. And then I did the second half of this leg of the N here, starting just below the top, so in the corner where the two lines of stitching meet. Filled that in, and then I filled in with another diagonal row, and then another vertical row to fill in the other leg. But you can stitch it any way you want. You could stitch it, turn the stitching around and just do short rows with longer rows here. It's a nice little stitch, and it's really great for borders as well. Enjoy, happy stitching. The tutorial you have just watched is part of a series of 31 stitch tutorials that I have made to go along with the pattern for this embroidery stitch sampler. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you want to check out the pattern, you can find the link in the description. And whatever you're making, happy stitching.